we're starting to head towards the Mojave Desert, which is, I believe, if I'm right on the maps, it's probably on the other side of this range right here. But this is still desert landscape, and it's really beautiful. You look way out there, and it's just open wilderness area. It's really sunny. What's the temperature right now?
57.
57 degrees. Wait.
And windy.
And windy. It definitely is windy. We've been dealing with a lot of wind. We should be in Bakersfield in about 3.5, 4 hours tops. There was this awesome diversion to take us over this direction, where there was some really exceptional rock hounding. But if we keep rock hounding, we're not going to get home until next Friday. We can't afford to do that. Although, I wish we were retired where we could just whimsy off into different directions like that. But
Not yet.
not yet. We're almost there.
Soon.
And I'm in no hurry. I don't know about you, but I'm not in a hurry to retire yet.
No, I'm not in a hurry. For you to retire. Kind of like it that you get up and leave the house every day.
Get up, you get dressed, and you get the heck out of here.
Oh man, look at that
That
poor
bit.
car.
Wow. That bed is
Ugh.
pretty toasty.
Yep, probably one of those guys that hot-dogged it past us.
Yep. Yeah, that train is just slowly going through. Doesn't look like it's moving, but it's moving. It is pulling. Let's see. It starts right there. Goes all
Behind that mountain.
down.
Behind that hill.
Way down there. Yep. It's still going. As far as you can see. Yeah, that's cool. This is the Mojave Desert. We're right in the middle of it. It's several hundred miles of open wilderness.
Wouldn't want to break down out here.
No, there is no services out here.
Look over this way. It's pretty far too.
Pan over like that. Look through that window. As far as you can see it out there too. I just caught the corner of your sunglasses, like super focused on them. Yep, a whole lot of nothing. That's usually what deserts are. There's supposed to be a lot of minerals out here, but we're just not going to stop and look anymore. We've been putting all the rocks that we found in my backpack, and now my backpack weighs about 80 pounds. Wow, look at this truck. Overloaded, oversized load, in the fast lane. Windy. size load is. Just hanging over the center line just a little bit. Past these trucks in front of him. Now we're going uphill. All that weight. It's picking up speed. The guy behind you?
Yeah.
Like, it's obvious we can't go around the trucks.
Yeah, she's like flashing me, like
scoot over.
What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do about it.
What can you do about it?
I don't know.
And let me guess, he's still way behind us. Not like he's passing us because we're going too slow.
Oh, he thought I wasn't gonna go fast enough for him.
I don't understand why people have to
Try to push you out of the way.
Yeah, get all bent out of shape over nothing.
It's nothing.
No reason to road rage, man.
Absolutely no reason. You know, Oregon people, most likely.
hotel reviews because my wife deserves a decent room. And although I'm one of those guys that think frugal, like I don't want to spend a lot for a room, we've learned our lesson a few times from trying to find a room for less than $100. And I'm going to read you some reviews as to why we don't get those hotels. With the exception of the hotel we got last night, which was a brand new hotel, I highly recommend that place because it's new and it was only $139 for the night. It was the live-away suites, so it was an extended stay hotel. It doesn't have the amenities like having a breakfast or, with those continental breakfast things where they serve waffles and stuff. It doesn't have that because it has a kitchen, so it's one of those hotels where you'd probably stay for a couple of weeks and live in it. So we're heading to Bakersfield, and I usually start with the most common hotels. Like this one here is the Quality Inn and Suites near downtown Bakersfield. And I always go to Google and I look at the reviews because the overall reviews, that's how many total reviews there are for how many people have reviewed the place. But you gotta take a little bit of time and read what people say because people that stay there are your best critics. They're either going to rave positively about their experience or they're going to find something about it, about their hotel that was really bad. So I started at this one, which was the Quality Inn Suites near downtown, and it's $61. And the first review says a nice hotel with good prices and a nice staff. And then farther down, you start reading things like, "Oh, we got there at 11:30 p.m. and the inside of the room felt like it was 107 degrees. The AC seems to be broken. This place is really old. If you're not from the hood, please find another hotel." And that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. I want to see if what they have to say about it. Just because I see 2 or 3 people say that the hotel was decent doesn't mean that every review is going to be that way. And here's one from just a couple of months ago. This person says, "I don't know where to begin. As I pulled into the parking lot, we were greeted by 2 prostitutes doing business in the parking lot. We checked into the hotel and proceeded to room 109 where we discovered blood and other bodily fluids on the sheets of the sofa bed." It's those kinds of reviews that make me go, there is no way I'm going to allow my wife to walk through the door into that room and find that. My wife used to clean hotel rooms, and I know her expectation. But I guarantee you as a couple, it only takes one bad hotel where I don't necessarily, well, I used to not necessarily care, but my wife really does care, and I care about her. So I don't want to walk her into a horror movie, especially when she's tired after an 8-hour drive. I want her to be comfortable. I want to enjoy the evening and not worry about it. So far on our trip, the best hotel we stayed at was in Truth or Consequences at the, what was that called, Blackstone Hot Springs. Man, I tell you, we are going to call them and ask them what the brand of bed was, because that was probably the most comfortable bed we've ever slept on. And that's what I'm talking about. You go to a hotel to get, sometimes you go in to just spend the night because you're doing like we're doing, we're just driving through to another town. But you want to be comfortable. You want to be able to walk out of your room and feel safe. You want to be able to go to, dinner and then come back hotel we stayed in Texas was a Quality Inn, and it was just off the highway, and it was decent. It had, what I liked about the security of it is it had a keyed area to get to the hallway where our room was, and you couldn't get to your room without that key pass to get to your room. So there was a little bit of extra security that made me feel comfortable, and it was really quiet. Really, the only expectations that my wife has is clean, quiet, and safe. And I think a lot of people have that expectation. So when you're on a highway, just because those hotels are on the highway doesn't mean they're the best. Actually, do your research. When we found that Live-Away hotel, we were looking at all the Hilton hotels. They were over $200 a night, and they had reviews about how poorly they were kept. And these are supposed to be decent hotels. So there's no way I'm going to pay what I consider at $200 a night. That's a premium price. I would expect that room to be spotless. And I don't want to read reviews that say that the room has got dingy, dirty sheets or mold in the bathroom, and I'm paying $200 for that. That's not acceptable. And I'm grateful that my wife points out those details, so I take a little bit more time to read what I'm getting, and it makes the overall experience more pleasant when you do that. Here's another review of a tiny little hotel called the Vagabond Inn. And it starts off with 3 stars. Somebody said that, they thought it was a decent stay. But then right after that, the most disgusting hotel I've ever been in. A cockroach met me in the bathroom upon arrival, but checked in late, so we went to sleep. Woke up to dead bugs in the sheets, the shower dripping all night, and it doesn't drain. Stains on all the towels. The walls are even disgusting. The pictures are a bait and switch. This place looks nothing like this. Checked out, and they still charged me for 3 nights. So it's definitely a buyer beware. And I'll tell you, this room here looks like a bargain at $43 a night, but I wouldn't dare stay there. So let's go over here to the Holiday Inn. Let's go back to a Holiday Inn. This one's at $111, and it's in the center of Bakersfield. And $111 is about the going rate that I would expect to pay for a room. And we got, let's see, we stayed here a couple of weeks ago and was very satisfied with our stay. From the moment we checked in, it was greeted by Robin. To the moment we left, it was a great stay. The room was very clean and well set up with all the necessary amenities. That's the first review. And that was 3 months ago. The 4-month ago review had 5 stars. Let's see. And here we go. Absolutely atrocious customer service. Borderline, not outright scam artists. We arrived at our hotel around 3 a.m. due to traffic from a fatal car accident. I'll spare the details. The front desk clerk told us we were marked as a no-show and we would have to pay either a second time for the room or go somewhere else. Probably the worst customer service I've ever experienced. Expedia told us this was unacceptable. We should not have to pay twice, but the manager refused us a refund for our second payment the next day. I honestly still cannot get over how terribly we were treated and the utter lack of empathy. Those are the kind of things I look for. And, but then there's another 4-star. Here's another one. I'm unsure how this hotel is so highly rated. The rooms are paper thin, so I heard noise all night from the neighboring rooms, the hallway, and the road. The road was the worst because apparently this is across from a music venue. And just happened to have a bunch of morons revving up their lame motorcycles all night thinking they're cool. So there you go. More 2-star and 1-star reviews. And that's a Hilton. This is a, or no, this is, sorry, it's a that I won't even bother trying to reach you because we just saw the pictures. This poor person was covered in bed bug bites, and that's the thing that scares me the most, is going to a hotel and coming across that kind of infestation, especially when